Okay, let's talk about reconnection.
Mm.
And specifically, I'm curious for you. You're very intentional when it comes to your leadership and how you're behaving. And I know that this is a stressful time, so it takes a very conscious leader to be aware and intentional. And what does that look like for you? How do you keep coming back and reconnecting to the leader or the teacher or the educator, whatever that is for you that you want to be?
First off, I think that you said something really important by saying keep coming back to being that leader. Because if I'm being honest, it really is a game of coming back to it. We are imperfect, and I am imperfect as well. And there are moments where I feel like, especially in the middle of the competition season, I end up losing my way. I get caught up in so many different aspects of the energy of the other studios and students around me, the other teachers, the competitive nature of the events, the flash of the lights, and the other, the workshop teachers or the critiques and all of those sorts of things. And, for me, a lot of it is just coming back to center and remembering why I'm there. I'm not necessarily there for my students to compete or to win. I'm not there necessarily for them to get on stage or even be recognized or noticed. And that's all like the icing on the cake, but we're there for experience and for experimentation and for them to put their tools into practice in a new setting and in a setting where they have their own sets of anxieties or fears or insecurities, and seeing if I can be there to support their journey, because that journey is for them. So for me, a lot of it is when I go into rehearsing a number before they go on stage, it's about remembering what the intention of the piece is about and what our conversation is and what they're trying to say, and reminding them that their best versions of themselves are vulnerable and are on stage and in practice of their tools, and that will create the conversation story necessary. For me, with them, it's meeting up with them before they go into classes or at lunch and asking them, you know, what they've enjoyed and what they've learned and how it's different from things that they've done and what the experience can be, and then helping support them by saying, like, great, go back in and enjoy that and
Mm-hmm.
take the information for you, because that is why you're there. And when they are there at their best and attentive to the information and in a place of enjoyment, then they can recognize that in others, and they can also be seen themselves. And so it really is just about recognizing and remembering why I'm there. And no matter what the outside world is saying, that, like, I've come in with my own intention, and so have they for them.
Cool. What I liked what you said as well is that they get to recognize others. Like it's
Mm,
not just about you and it's not just about whatever you're achieving. It's like there's beauty around you, there's inspiration around you, there's so many good things. But it's
yeah,
hard, right? Because I'll be honest, it's a competition.
it is.
Like people want to win. There's
Mm-hmm.
also that element of like, don't get distracted by
Mm-hmm.
what's going on around you. You have a job to do. So it's the balancing of that too, right? Yeah, I love
I
that
think
though.
I do think, though, it's like when they recognize what a performance is and why they're on stage and that they have a purpose in saying something, then everything else gets to sort of fall to the wayside a little bit, because, in the end, you're going to connect with your audience or your judges when you are committed to the conversation that you're trying to have and you're invested in that. And you can't be invested in the conversation and invested in winning at the same time. It doesn't work.
Preach.